Now the external examination of the body, it is generally inspected for the general parameters: height, weight, build, age, sex, complexion, everything is noted down. Not only the naked eye, the hand lens can be used. So physical examination, external evidence of injuries, and external evidence of therapy. So the most important thing is that every corner of the body, that is the hidden areas, the orifices, they should be examined. Nasal, ear, mouth, inside a mouth, palate, because these are the most hidden areas and usually they are attempted. The axilla, the umbilicus, rectum, vagina. So all the orifices, they should be examined carefully as a part of external examination. Now the general physical examination, this is a general description, then the visible changes which you are eliciting on the body. And these changes are usually the changes which are appearing after death. And from those changes, we can estimate the time since death. Then visual scrutiny, we will scrutinize each and every site. So general parameter, general description is age, sex, and in a single sentence, this is the general usually description which is given: a dead body of an adult male of well built, having body length 162 centimeters and appears to be of above stated age, the age which have been stated by the police. So with this sentence, you have written down the age: adult, male, well built, body length, height, and general description. Then the visible changes after death, these are the changes which are appearing within the body after death. And these are in a definitive chronological order because from them we can estimate the age. Cooling of the body. Body has to cool down. And there is a certain etiquette or scheme or parameter with which we can determine the time since death. Then postmortem lividity, the hypostasis. This is the capillovenous engorgement or flowing of the blood to the dependent areas by the effect of gravity after death. That is hypostasis. Similarly, the rigor mortis and putrefaction. So these all changes appear in a definitive chronological order, and when we study the change in which state they are, for example, if we talk about the postmortem staining, if it is appearing fixed or not fixed, we can give a time, because immediately postmortem staining starts as small patches, then they combine together to become bigger, broad patches, and finally they coalesce together and a homogeneous staining is developed. And this will not be seen on the areas which are under pressure, contact flattening. For example, if the body is supine, the back is touching the surface, and the back of the shoulder, the buttocks, and the calves, they are being pressed by the weight, and there the postmortem staining. So, when we'll discuss thanatology, we'll go into the detail. So, these changes help us in determining time. This is what I was telling you, that body was spine, and this is the postmortem staining which has been developed in between the areas of contact. This was the area which was in contact, and they are flattened, and on those areas the postmortem staining is not developed. And then the visual scrutiny for the changes and other specific characteristic, like you see jaundice, cyanosis, congestion. So besides changes which are appearing in everybody, there may be specific change to that particular individual which will be showing some disease process or some other special process. Then any other physical abnormality, any surgical scar mark which can help you in identity. Previously appendectomy has been done or any other, this help in identity. So the old surgical mark and the fresh surgical mark, if the person was injured and hospitalized and there was surgery, and you will note it down what are the fresh surgical mark or any other mark on the body. In this you can see the cyanosis. Now on the body there will be marks of injury, and they are very carefully noted down, and these are special areas which should be looked for, the hidden areas which I have told you, the axilla, the oral cavity, the groin, the umbilicus, the genitalia, they all should be the part of external examination. So each injury should be examined for its type, that it is incised, it is lacerated, it's a gunshot wound, and then it is where located, site and location in reference to anatomical landmarks. And when we describe a wound, we tell site, size, shape, depth, margins, angles, and vital reaction. This is important. Every living tissue will be showing vital reaction, and vital reaction is response of a living tissue. And in injury, the most important response is hemorrhage, congestion. And hemorrhage, the hemoglobin is going to stain the tissue. And this antemortem staining is a permanent, it will not be washed away. Simple example, if you buy a chicken, नेक के ऊपर स्लॉटर का निशान होता है, तो उसके ऊपर आप देखेंगे हीमोग्लोबिन ने एक स्टेन किया होता है. इफ यू ट्राई टू वॉश इट अवे, इट विल नॉट वॉश अवे, वेयर एज द अदर पीसेस दे आर white. No piece will be showing any vital reaction. So just by looking at the injury, you can tell by washing that this is antemortem and this is postmortem.
Is it like a bruise?
Bruise is something else. Bruise is basically hemorrhage bluish. Initially it is reddish, then it turns into, because of the disintegration of the hemoglobin into various pigments, it will be showing variation in colors. And from variation in color, we can also determine the timing of the injury, how old a bruise, how old in size is. But this is the staining. The blood coming out of the vessels and staining the tissue, and that is the vital reaction of hemorrhage. And these are the anatomical landmarks on the front of abdomen, similarly on the back, that nape of the neck, the shoulder, so all you have to give the injury in the reference to anatomical landmarks to where it is located. And this is the site of the body. Sometimes the injuries are single or multiple, you have to number it down, and sometimes they are multiple in an area. Then you can give a group together. For example, 4 to 5 stab wounds on the front of the chest, each measuring 3 centimeter in an area of 8 into 10, 5 into 7 on the front of the chest, below nipple, on the right side of umbilicus. So you can group them together. Like a wound complex of 9 elliptical incised wounds, each measuring 3 into 7 centimeters, all abdominal cavity deep, present in an area of 18 into 27 centimeter on the front of abdomen. So instead of describing each injury, you can group them together if they are multiple. And these are various weapons. So all these weapons will be showing either contusion, abrasion, laceration, incised wounds, punctured wounds, and burns, burning first degree, second degree, third degree, and complete charring. Now, the external evidence of therapy when the person is hospitalized and there are surgical incisions, cuts, they should be labeled as surgical intervention or therapeutic intervention so that when you, in the end, finally conclude these injuries, which are surgical interventions, should not be confused with the injuries of the weapon. So they are either headed as surgical or medical intervention, or you can say therapeutic intervention. You give a heading of therapeutic intervention, and in this you can write down a tracheostomy wound or a laparotomy wound or any other which is surgical intervention. You should note it down. Their incisions, dressings, drainage holes, catheters, they all should be noted. And if they are stitch wound, you should count the number of stitches and the material which is being used, black silk or proline or 9 stitches or 8 stitches, they should be numbered and counted. Then tracheostomy hole if it is, and needle punctures. If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell button to receive all the notifications. And my channel name is Dr. Javed Iqbal Kokar, Lectures on Forensic Medicine.